Yo peeps, Mischief here. Welcome to this impromptu episode of Conspiracy Covered. I'm going to be covering the whistleblower stuff, this alien landing in Las Vegas, what else is going on. I mean, this is just getting crazy now, you know. If it's all true, I suppose I'm out of a job, aren't I? Although I can report on the actual true things then. But anyway, here we go. Cue the start sequence. Okay, title sequence out of the way. Right, if you're listening on Spotify, welcome again. If you are watching on YouTube, welcome also. So we've got a lot going on this week. It's like Christmas UFO time, isn't it? It's like, you know, conspiracy theorists. Here you go. Happy birthday, happy Hanukkah, happy Christmas. Here's all the stuff you've all wanted. Aliens are real. They're crashing down. They're landing in people's back gardens. So if you haven't seen this report then, let's watch it now, shall we?
Sighting of strange creatures in the backyard of a Northwest Valley home.
So it was last night that 8 News Now investigator David Grusch reported about how Metro Police responded back on May 1st after receiving a strange call from a very frightened family. Well, our report generated a global response, and now piecing together the sequence of events has been kind of tricky, in part because the primary witnesses have been almost as elusive as the beings they say they encountered. Chief Investigator George Knapp is as perplexed as the rest of us. George.
As you know, this is not our first UFO rodeo. We first heard about the incident in early May via the Metro Police grapevine. The incident has a lot in common with other bizarre cases from around the world: an alleged crash, strange beings, and bits and pieces that don't make sense. But the police took this seriously, and so do we. Just before midnight on April 30th, skywatchers across several western states saw a bright fireball streak through the heavens. A police officer working in the Northwest Valley caught a glimpse of the colorful object on his body cam. At nearly the same time, a Ring camera in the area recorded a strange noise and what sounds like a crash. One family living in a ranch-style home had a much closer view of the object. Two brothers and their father were working on a vehicle in their yard when they caught a glimpse of a sparkly object as it came crashing down, then were hit by what they describe as a shock wave. One of the witnesses, a young man named Angel, has stated when the brothers looked into the yard where the object landed, that spot was obscured and blurry, as if by unknown form of camouflage. What they saw next prompted a frantic call to 911.
So there's two people or two subjects that are in your backyard?
Correct, and they're very large. They're like 8 foot, 9 feet, 10 foot. I don't know. They look like aliens to us. Big eyes. They have big eyes, like I can't explain it. And big mouth. They're shiny eyes, and they're not human. They're 100% they're not human.
8 News Now investigators have spoken with family members multiple times in the past 4 weeks, but each of the 3 times we accepted their invitation to do an interview, they didn't answer the door or their phone. These are some of the claims they've made in other public forums. Multiple family members backed up the story in an initial police report we obtained. Angel says they heard the patter of multiple feet in the yard. They later heard footsteps on their roof. They saw one of the 8-foot-tall creatures climb behind the controls of a large front loader stored in the yard as if trying to engage it. He got a good look at one of the creatures, he said, a greenish-grayish being with large eyes and long legs. He says he could hear its deep breaths, and when he locked eyes, he was, in essence, frozen in place, couldn't move. In the middle of the yard, where the object had crashed, then vanished, a circular impression was left in the soil.
Okay, where is this on your property?
Metro sources say the police dispatcher initially wondered whether to send a crisis intervention team to help the troubled witness, but then took the incident seriously. 2 officers arrived 38 minutes after the call, and by then had heard from other officers. They proceeded cautiously and managed some nervous laughs.
I ain't dealing with that.
A few days later, the family says, 2 Metro sergeants returned to the scene to ask follow-up questions. The family says they also saw men in suits and sunglasses driving in a car with government plates cruising slowly past the house in the following days. Nellis and Creech have denied any interest or involvement with the incident. Metro has indicated they believe the family that something crashed in their yard. But what?
You mentioned, George, in that piece that, they were frozen because so many people have been critical of, like, why didn't they get their phone out? Why didn't they shoot the video? Do we know if there's even any video of this incident?
Yes and no. So there's a surveillance camera in the backyard. The property owner keeps that because he's got a lot of expensive equipment there. What we were told is that at the moment this thing comes down and crash, this camera went out, and it was out for a couple of minutes. When it came back on, the object was gone, but the circle was there. We've been told by Angel in multiple phone conversations that he shot video of the creatures. We haven't seen it, and we don't know anybody else who's seen it yet, so maybe he'll release it at some point.
So, good old George Knapp there then. If you've not seen my What's the Deal with George Knapp, go watch that. If you want a bit more background on George and who he is, I've done a What's the Deal with Jeremy Corbell. I've got some more What's the Deal with people in this field as well. So the journalist that reported then on the David Grusch report that's coming out basically about, the government's covering up UFOs, covering up aliens, covering up crashes, all this other kind of stuff. I'm going to be doing an episode on her. I'm going to be doing, it's just, whoa, I mean, there's too much. Like, so we just watched a video with George Knapp, like I just said there. And it was in May this happened. They've had this report, been sat on it a bit, trying to gather stuff. Once again, no one's come forward with anything. No one's come forward with video. No one's come forward with photos. You've got a 911 call, to the police department there saying about a 9-10 foot being in the garden with large eyes and big mouth. First time I've ever heard aliens described like that. But then again, he said they looked grey, shiny. Who knows? And then an indent left in the ground after. And then we've got this whistleblower come forward, David Grusch as well. It's just, I mean, what is going on at the minute? So I would really love some comments from you guys. There's a question and answer section on Spotify. Ask me some questions. Just give me your thoughts, your comments. If you're on YouTube right now, please bloody comment. Let's find out what is going off. And see where this stuff goes. I mean, like I said, if David Grusch from the whistleblower report that I'm going to be doing some more episodes about, because how can I not now? If he's right, then we've all been right. Everything that we all thought was real, the crashes, the UFO retrieval programs, the aliens, the bodies that Wright Patterson Air Force Base might have had, or Air 51 might have had, all that's true. Then this landing in someone's back garden thing must be true as well. I don't know. Do you guys know what is going on? What's going on with my hair? Luckily, if you're listening on Spotify, you can't see my crazy hair at the minute. I don't know. I just don't know what to think. I mean, let's say it is all true, yeah? Let's say it is all true, and we've all been right, all those conspiracy nut jobs, we've all been right all this time. Where do we go from there? Would anything actually change? Would governments then try and implement a world government, where we all need to be safe now in the world government, and here's your 15-minute cities and everything like that? Or would we finally accept that we are, not the only bloody people out here, and start building a better world without having to have all these government controls and everything? And I don't know. That's a hopeful, isn't it? Or like I said in my previous episode, it could be a case that look, they're gonna do some mad thing where they're gonna distract us with UFOs, create something to create a world government, a fake alien invasion. I know that is tinfoil hat time. I've left my tinfoil hat inside. I do apologise. Or it's all real. So I'd like to know, what do you guys make of, that report there? Is that a load of baloney? Anyone can phone up and say they've seen stuff out of the window. The police turned up. Obviously, they didn't find anything. There's a certain... an alien's trying to drive a tractor. I'm sure an alien could figure out a fucking tractor or a digger, pretty quickly. You can fly a spaceship, although then again, these spaceships seem pretty easy to fly from what people have been described. If it's just mental manoeuvring or something, then then yeah. But I don't get it. No, I don't know. Like I said, this is a very impromptu episode. I've got to say something about this. You know, I would love your guys' opinions, please, on the whistleblower David Grusch, on this weird case that's been brought forward to us. It's all becoming very mainstream, isn't it? UFOs, but we don't seem to be getting answers to any of the actual questions that we're all asking. We never seem to get any actual evidence. I mean, David Grusch comes forward, he's got no evidence, he's got nothing to back him up, he's just got people's testimonies and claims or something that he's saying, it's all second hand. We've got this again, another episode, another incident, it's all second hand. It's not, we're not getting it from the people that actually experienced it. We've got a 911 call, big wow. Conveniently, the security camera went out when the spacecraft came down, as they always do. And there's a guy with a pool next door. Did they not see these aliens in their back garden? What were they doing? Were they all in bed? What about the people around them? I'm not being funny, if I had a rumble and stuff and you could see something going over, I'm a nosy bugger. I'd be down the street. I'm like, what the fucking hell is that? And then there's 20 of you going, there's bloody big tall aliens in your back garden, mate. You know what I mean? Like, look at him. Look at how fucking tall he is. Hey up, chap, you all right? I don't know. So, yeah. Leave me some comments about this. I can't wrap my head around it. Everyone's covering this at the minute, obviously, because it's a hot topic. But it's one of these where, well, if this is happening and this is going on, then my goodness, what will happen? If this is true, all this stuff is true, then we surely must change how we live, how we treat each other, how we live in our society, how we project towards each other. Going back to one of my previous episodes, the gender ideology war and things and stuff like the race, issues that go on. I've said this before. They're all made to make us hate each other for political reasons, so that people can stay in power. It's so obvious, and I don't understand why people don't just wake up to this fact. Rather than arguing with me that I'm transphobic, homophobic, bigoted, racist, whatever, look at yourself, right, and then look at the government and things and go, well, hang on a minute, you're just turning me against these people. So that is one sort of aspect of all this UFO stuff becoming into the mainstream, becoming, newsworthy topics. Now, I'm not saying that a lot of the stuff that's been brought forward isn't amazing. The videos we've had, Commander David Fravor, the 2017 report in New York Times, and it seems to be getting closer to some kind of disclosure. But is it an orchestrated disclosure? Is it something that they are slowly moving people into place to get out the information, whether it's true or not, and go that way? I don't know. So anyway, this episode is just asking for your thoughts, basically, because I'm stumped here with this. It's all very, if you're not into the UFO topic, you've probably seen this guy and you've seen these things and you're going, another load of crap, But even if you're not into the UFO topic, you've got to look at this and go, well, what is going off? Something's going off. We've proved this with things like COVID, and the lockdowns and all this other stuff, the elements of control that are being added into the government. Well, if now you can add in a UFO narrative where you're making it more mainstream, you're getting people involved in it. If you said tomorrow there's an alien invasion coming, everyone's got to stay indoors, people would do it, wouldn't they? People would be panic buying down at Tesco's and Aldi and things again because Planet Zargon's coming to invade or something. So I think we've got to be really careful with the information that's coming out and how it's taken and what actually happens to the information and the factual stuff. If these guys do have video of these aliens, then they need to come forward and give the video. If David Grusch has got evidence that, is contrary to anything or, backs up his claims, we need to see that. As a species, we need to see that. Because that would, like I said, and I know it's a separate topic, but that would solve a lot of this gender crap and things like this. You know, we'd all see we're all humans. We're all here on this planet. We all live together. It doesn't matter what skin colour you are. It doesn't matter what you believe. You know, religions are made up pretty much. You know, I've always said this. If science, if the world ended tomorrow, you know, you'd get a different religion come back. You would. Hate me for saying it if you want, but you get a million different religions like you have now. Okay, science and maths and stuff would pretty much stay the same. Different words, but 4 would still be 4, wouldn't it? You know, 5 still 5. You know, and the orbit of the moon and Earth and Sun, all that's mathematical. It's all scientific. We can discover all that again. So what I'm trying to get at is maybe we should stop all the pettiness, you know, on this planet. All these petty wars over lands that no one actually bloody owns. It's only owned because we live there, and people have taken it upon themselves to take this stance and, you know, take these lands, and then, you know, it goes down the line and whatever, and then you can buy bits and you can do this. And, you know, the whole system that we live in is a corrupt, set up system. I know I've gone completely off topic now, but it's a random episode, so hey, here you go. And I think we need to fix it. Like the drug laws in the UK, you know, if there is alien life out there, who are you to stop me having cannabis or magic mushrooms? Really? You know, something that grows out of the ground, as I've said before, that you can just go and pick and dry and smoke, or pick and dry and eat or drink. Who are you to stop me doing this? Really? So anyway, back to the UFO topic. I will be doing some more videos on the drugs laws. I have, if you're listening on Spotify and you've not seen them yet, go to my YouTube channel, because I can't transfer them over here at the minute. Go to the YouTube channel and check out my 1974 Drugs Act. You know, we need to change the laws on there. I've done an episode on there in the UK, drug laws. I've done other episodes on the gender ideology war. So all this kind of ties in, really, because, well, it does. Bear with me 1 minute, listener. It does tie in, because UFOs and all this stuff is government cover-ups. Okay? Whichever way you look at it, whether they're real or whether they're not, they're covering something up in order to do this. Same with all this gender stuff or the race cards and things like that. When people are going for office or running for political things or whatever, they pull out all this stuff and reawaken it all again so they can be on one side of it and be the glorified, you know, leaders and all this kind of stuff and get voted in. They don't believe any of the crap they spin to any of us at all, and never have. But yet we then have to believe it, and then we have to fight for them and fight over different things and put people down. You know, once the first link is forged, the chain for us all is made. The first law you lay down where freedom of speech is interrupted or political correctness is brought in or anything like this, you set the chain for us all. And it's the same with this UFO topic. If we go about this the wrong way, and this somehow, like it has been before, my example with the crop circles, just like Y-Files showed, where they hired people to go and make crop circles and then claim that they'd done them. It was another way to distract us away from what's actually going on. Is this another way to distract us, to then push us into all this other kind of stuff that I've been talking about, where we're all suppressed, we're all even more, you know, enslaved than we already are to the system and to governments of wherever we live, to fight against each other and to just be horrible bastards to all, you know, to each other? Or are we going to wake up? Is this going to be dealt with properly? Is this actually going to come out as factual? Is it going to be proved that we are not alone in this universe? To whatever God you pray to, I bloody hope so, because like I said before, if we are the only intelligent species in this vast, I mean, so vast you can't even wrap your head around it, universe. It's a pretty shit place, isn't it, really? If we're the pinnacle of society, when we can't even decide what toilet we're going to, you know, or what we should call somebody who wants to be called something else, when there's aliens visiting us and other things going on. You know, this is probably why they haven't said anything to us yet, because they realise how easy manipulated we as a species are, and how easy it is to get us to do whatever. And for them to come here, they won't have to announce themselves. Maybe they did in the ancient past, which is why people like Graham Hancock get put down so much, which I'll be doing an episode. It's coming. I've just been tying some bits together. I'm going to be doing another What's the Deal with Graham Hancock and looking into ancient hypotheses and things like this, and Younger Dryas impact hypothesis, and covering the subject again, and going through and talking about it. So yeah, anyway, very impromptu episode. So yeah, let me know what you think of this video. Let me know what you think of these possible aliens. Let me know what you think of David Grusch. Let me know what you think about the gender ideology war, and other subjects that the government are trying to push onto us, other cover-ups, other things that they're doing to manipulate us all. The worldwide pandemic was a huge manipulation. So yeah, there you go. Anyway, thanks for listening to me, guys. I've been Mischief. I'll be doing another upcoming episode possibly tomorrow. And yeah, let's see where this goes, shall we? Can we better ourselves as humans? Or are we doomed to repeat the same old shit? Mischief signing out.
You're right. If you're telling us the truth, everyone, the entire American public, has been lied to for decades.
Yeah, there's a sophisticated disinformation campaign targeting the U.S. populace, which is extremely unethical and immoral.
You are saying to the human race, for the first time, an official intelligence representative at a high level from the US government is saying publicly, we are not alone.
We're definitely not alone. Absolutely, the data points empirically that we're not alone.